Hi, it's Sandy here, and it is time for the new moon rose reading for the 29th of November. And this is powerful. It's a powerful new moon, and it's certainly bringing up a lot of issues around clearing this process that we've been in as we've gone through 216. And 216 was always going to be the year of purification. It was going to be the year in which we had to face some of the deepest fears and issues that have been coming up over the time. And so, this is an interesting time as we go through now into this closing chapter, this unification, as we come into the winter solstice. What it's bringing us to is that culmination point, that place in which we start to bring resolution, we start to bring a closure to the journey that we've been on this year. Really beginning to see the lessons, the soul lessons that we've been brought, and the illumination of our inner patterns that are really not helpful for us to take into 217. And this time coming up has very much felt to be the the illumination of issues around self-worth and self-esteem, self-value, to come into a place where we can step more into a real sense of being empowered in our process forward. And fear, is one of those emotions that can create this stress within the body to the traditional sort of fight or flight energy, and it also can create freeze. And what we're looking at here is being able to navigate our way through these places that come up within us so that we can step forward into 217 with a much clearer and brighter energy to then step forward and expand into 217. There's a real sense that that's going to be quite a different energy for us, and the full moon and the new moon coming up in December, I'm sure, will be further catalysts for us to find and navigate the pathway through, so that we can continue to let go of the things that have caused us discomfort or pain, or places of reflection as we've gone through this year. It's this, if you look at the analogy of the rose garden, the roses thrive on being able to transform and transmute the manure of life, or the SHIT of life. And there is a sense that the more that we're able to see the old patterns and see the old hurts as a process of transformation, then we will be able to really fully blossom as we go into next year. So yes, powerful times on the outer levels and on the inner levels. And as ever, the work that we attend to, the places in which we are prepared to go within ourselves, are the places that are actually going to reap us the rich rewards as we move forward. Time to let go, time to really honour the journey that we've been on, and to honour those places within us where we've had to let go of perhaps loved ones, or even the more challenged relationships that have still had a really significant part to play in our evolutionary cycle. So what might the roses have to show us for wisdom in this particular time? So, are you drawn to rose card 1? Are you drawn to rose card 2? Or are you drawn to rose card 3? Now, rose card 1 is this beautiful rose here, and she is Rosemar 10. She is Rosemar 10, and she says, I am unconditional love. This is one of the roses from the Rose 5 set, the Rosemar set, the Mother of the Rose. And these are qualities of the awakened and empowered feminine energy. And that sits for us in the heart field, whether we're in female body or male body. You know, the heart field is this place where we hold such qualities of being. And this rose says, you know, I am unconditional love. And, you know, what is unconditional love? Well, you know, for most of us in our patterning and program, there has been a conditionality, you know, perhaps a learned behavior of loving in order to be safe and loved. Perhaps, you know, the conditionality, if I do this for you, then I will be loved. But ultimately, what our journey through life and our dealing with love and loss opens us up to a being of love, a place in which we have resolved enough of our own personal story, our own personal journey, to be able to love what is. The lovely Matt Kahn has some very good videos around this place of whatever shows up, love it, you know, appreciate it. This is what she's calling you to. If you've chosen Rose 1, she's really saying that this is a time of coming into a deep appreciation of those that are around you in your life, and also you know, the different aspects of your life that you can be thankful for. She's very open, you know, she's complex. Most of us have had quite a complex journey, but she holds such a radiance and beauty in her field that she says, you know, this is the time when it's the time to show up and just be open to whatever is in your life, and to deal with that. You know, whatever comes up, if there's still an energy charge on it, if there's still a reaction that you get within the body, this is the time to take the opportunity to go within and say, okay, there's still something that I haven't got cleared here. This is still work for me to do. So beautiful, powerful rose, and inviting you to self-love, self-reflection, self-esteem, and to gratitude. And those processes enable us to be more fully present, to be unconditional in our ability to love another. Beautiful. So if you chose Rose 2, here she is, and she's Rosemar 11. So this is 2 of the Rosemar roses that have come up today. And this actually was the class that we had here in the Rosie Temple at the weekend. And it was just such an amazing class of bringing up to the surface emotional stories and patterns that were still requiring some work and some release. So here she is. She is Rosemar 10, and she says, I am compassion. You know, the warrior energy within the body sits in different places for the masculine and the feminine. The masculine warrior sits in the base chakra and is a very physical warrior energy. The feminine warrior energy sits on the heart solar plexus, and it's a compassionate warrior energy. It's one that has the antennae up for the well-being of all. It's not just about me. It's a we type energy. And so she's saying that this time that we're moving into, this is the place when we are looking at co-creative processes. We're looking at perhaps communal living. We're looking at this place where there is compassion for the unfolding of humanity. You know, we are really at a crossroads in our journey. We look at what's happening in America. We look at Standing Rock. We look at the other issues that are really powerfully up for us at the moment. And this place of compassionate warrior, you know, it's not a passive energy, this. So if this is the rose card that you've called, I mean, she's asking you to have that compassion for the human condition, for the stories and the journey that we've been on, but to be able to look at it and say, okay, what action is actually needed in this moment to start to make change, to create resolution. This is not a passive. This is not a passive energy. She's very beautiful. She's very powerful, and yet she's very present. So, if she's called you today, look at what there is that you're being drawn to. That perhaps you're perhaps even needing to give compassion to yourself for the ongoing struggle with something, the ongoing unresolvedness of something that you're only being able to gradually peel away the layers of. You know, compassion for self is where it all starts, and then there is compassion for others. So, yeah, powerful and an interesting combination with Rosemar 9 and unconditional love. So, what is the third? The third energy that has come forward is Rose Bagua 1. Now, Rose Bagua 1 is that place of new beginnings. She is the first step on a new pathway. And I think that that's really an interesting rose to have come up for us in a new moon rose reading. You know, if this is a time of releasing all that we're able to, because this isn't even a head piece here. It's about the heart. It's what next level of my conditioning, of my pattern, of my program can I let go of at this point? And this rose says that just around the corner here, we are walking into a new beginning, a new form of expression. So maybe if you chose her, you've got something that's on the brink of being birthed for you, or there's a real sense that there is something new that is stepping forward. She opens doorways. You know, the Rose Bagua is different aspects of our inner world outpictured in our physical spaces, but also in our inner landscape. And she's calling for your attention to the new pathways that are ready and waiting for you as you let go of the old. So once again, an amazing combo of energies that we're looking at here. So unconditional love, compassion, and the awareness that as we bring these two energies into an alignment within us, so new pathways and new doorways can open up for us. And I'm just going to move this light very slightly so you can actually perhaps see the light's just about to go here in the UK, in the south here. So yeah, she's really beautiful, letting us know that there is a new pathway ahead, and perhaps something that you haven't even thought of. You know, that if you can come quietly into that place of receptivity, that the new can start to come forward for you, that is going to take you into 218 in glorious ways. You know, we've all been doing so much of our inner work, so much of our releasing and coming to terms with the story that we've been running, the story of our journey, the story we tell ourselves. And this is the time to give ourselves unconditional love, to come into that real place of compassion and appreciation for ourselves that releases the old patterns to open up a new chapter, a new pathway forward in our lives. So I hope you've enjoyed the rose reading. I hope it's been useful. There's all sorts of different messages that are coming in. I'm going to put my glasses on to read them. I've only got a little iPhone 5. And a little message from Charlotte saying, I can relate to everything you're saying. So wonderful. I'm really very grateful to be able to do this reading. And yeah, wishing you really well for this next phase, this next unfolding. And yeah, from my rosy heart to yours, with much love and rosy blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.